A man walks slowly across an empty beach, headphones on, eyes down. In his hands, a thin pole sweeps side to side, just above the sand. For a long moment, nothing. Then a steady tone rises in his ears. He stops, he kneels, he digs. A few inches down, a coin catches the light. He never saw it. So how did a quiet hum in a wire reach into the ground and find metal hidden in the dark? Look closely at the flat disc at the end of the pole. We call it the search coil, and it is the heart of the machine. Inside its plastic shell, fine copper wire is wound into loops, around and around, hundreds of turns. One winding will send, another will listen. Right now, the detector is doing something you cannot see or hear. It is filling the space below the coil with an invisible, restless field. Electricity flows into the sending loop, then reverses, then flows again, thousands of times each second. Each surge pushes a magnetic field out of the coil and down into the ground. Then the current drops and the field collapses back. Out and back, faster than you could ever count. Picture a dome of force pulsing beneath the disc, soaking into dry sand, reaching down toward whatever is buried and waiting there in the dark. Most of the ground ignores this field completely. Sand, soil, a buried shell, plain water. They simply let it pass. But metal is different. Metal is full of free electrons, tiny charges that can move. When that pulsing magnetic field washes over a buried coin, it gives those electrons a shove. They begin to swirl. A changing magnetic field, it turns out, will always try to push electrons into motion. The coin has just been woken up. Those swirling electrons form tiny loops of electric current spinning around inside the metal. We call them eddy currents, named for the little whirlpools you see in a river. They circle near the surface of the coin, going nowhere, simply turning. And here is the key. A loop of moving current is itself a small magnet, so the coin, lit up by the detector, now begins to make a faint magnetic field of its very own. Think of it like an echo, but made of magnetism instead of sound. The detector shouts a field down into the earth. The hidden coin answers back with a field of its own, weaker and slightly delayed. This return field rises up out of the ground, back toward the disc. It is incredibly faint, far quieter than the field the detector itself is blasting out. So catching it will take a clever trick. This is why the coil holds a second winding, the receive loop, whose only job is to listen. Normally, the detector cancels out its own powerful signal, so the listening loop hears almost nothing. But the coin's faint echo is not cancelled. It slips through. As that returning field passes over the receive loop, it nudges the electrons in the wire and stirs up a whisper of current. A signal at last from something buried and unseen. That whisper carries a secret. The coin's echo does not come back perfectly in step with the original field. It lags behind by a tiny slice of time, a delay measured in millionths of a second. And different metals lag by different amounts. A gold ring answers one way. A steel nail answers another. The detector measures this shift with great care, comparing what it sent against what came back over and over again. Now the machine makes a choice. It takes that measured shift and turns it into something your ears can grasp. A circuit reads the strength and the timing of the echo, then drives a small speaker. A strong, close target becomes a loud, bright tone. A deep or tiny one becomes a soft murmur. The beep you hear is not the metal itself. It is the detector translating an invisible magnetic answer into plain sound. But not every beep is worth digging. A bottle cap and a silver coin both answer the field, yet their delays differ. So the detector sorts them. Using that timing shift, it can ignore the signature of iron trash while still singing out for good targets. Turn a dial and you tell the machine which echoes to announce and which ones to silence. This is why an expert can walk right past junk and stop only for treasure. There are limits, of course. The pulsing field grows weaker the farther it travels, fading fast with depth. A large object can answer from deep down. A thin coin must lie near the surface to be heard at all, and wet, mineral-rich soil can muddy the echo and fool the machine. So the real skill is not just the electronics. It is a slow, patient sweep, holding the coil low and steady, listening for the faintest reply. So follow the chain. The search coil pours a pulsing magnetic field into the ground. The field wakes the free electrons in a buried piece of metal. They swirl into eddy currents, which make a faint return field of their own. The receive loop catches that echo. The detector measures its tiny delay, and a circuit turns the whole thing into a tone. From a hum in a wire to a coin in your hand. The next time you hear that steady beep on a beach, you will know exactly what it means. Somewhere under the sand, an invisible field reached down, woke a piece of metal, and the metal quietly answered back. A whole conversation in magnetism, finished in a fraction of a second. This was the cutaway. Look a little closer.